Nailers Netter, just talking to teachers.
Talking to teachers about academic research and evidence-based practice with continuing professional development at PNA 1977 on Twitter.
Nailers Netter, just talking to teachers.
Emergency mail only, lockdowns, wellbeing legacy. Homeschooling, virtual lessons, Teams and Zooms. These necessary and vital educational lifelines have receded from view on the vista of most teachers for the moment. Technology played a vital and essential role in supporting schools and students during the lockdowns. As a profession, we have settled on various keepers from this period, notably virtual parents' evenings. What we have developed, in my view, from this period is a culture of 24/7 contactability and consequent accountability due to the misuse and over-reliance on email. During the periods of partial closure, schools immediately and successfully flipped to an online learning model. This was facilitated primarily by email accounts, allowing access to the suite of services offered by Google, Microsoft, and other providers. At the time, schools were also able to bolster their contacts for parents and carers with email addresses. The speed at which contact could be made was a huge advantage for attendance, safeguarding, and of course, learning. These email addresses also became a lifeline for families to gain support for free school meal vouchers, access to services, and a direct line to teachers. At the time, there was also limited access to many external agencies. Schools stepped into this void, notably in the area of healthcare, becoming testing centres overnight. They also plugged gaps in many other areas, helping to support the most vulnerable in society at a time when it was needed the most. As schools returned to normal in September, the normal business of schools resumed. Leading schools in 2021 is hugely demanding and, of course, rewarding. It requires fortitude, strength of will, huge reservoirs of energy, and to maintain this, a healthy work-life balance. Alongside the everyday work schools do in providing quality of educational, personal development, curriculum and outcomes, and of course behaviour, many of the expectations added during partial closure have continued to be the expected norm for school leaders. This has been noticed building during the summer holidays of 2021, where a significant number of emails could land in your inbox daily from external providers, parents and other teachers. These extra expectations are demanding in and of themselves, but the added accountability and contactability have the potential to considerably add to the challenges leaders and teachers already feel. There's also the added expectation of immediate contact from both parents and students. However, having engaged parents and keen learners is obviously a very positive situation for schools. However, issues can arise when emails are not returned immediately, and there is also the potential for misunderstanding on both sides. During the lockdowns and partial closures, working patterns shifted and life was restricted. Now that society and schools are fully open, we need to regain the work-life balance that is essential to maintain equilibrium in a very demanding job. The use of email needs a fundamental reassessment. So why do people use email? Firstly, ease. If you have a message to send, it is much easier to type and send immediately rather than finding someone and having a conversation. It's another job ticked off the never decreasing list. Instantaneous. An issue can be resolved quickly and easily. This may save a great deal of time, effort and work, helping to relieve any potential stress that a longer wait may trigger. Accountability. If a message has been sent, there'll be an evidence trail to show that the action has been taken or asked for. This can of course be important, but can quickly develop into a culture if it is used excessively. Emails that CC in SLT and line managers are often used for this purpose. Time saving. Sending emails can negate the need to meet with multiple people, and messages can be sent easily to multiple colleagues. In a time-poor profession, this can be very valuable. Contact at any time. Email allows instant access to anyone at any time. This can be positive, allowing colleagues working flexibly to keep up to date with what's happening in school. Teachers and leaders can avoid having to get in early and stay late to stay on top of the work. On the flip side of this allows colleagues to potentially interrupt and affect leisure and family time and cause stress and anxiety, often unnecessarily. Anyone is available to you. I've been teaching long enough to remember that the only time you could see the head teacher was once you'd made an appointment through their PA. Now it is simple as a click of a button. Accessibility to leadership is of course important. Email potentially makes that too easy and can clutter the mind of leaders, leaving them unable to have the headspace to make important strategic decisions. It can be done from home. Many agencies are working from home or working flexibly. This is to be welcomed, especially flexible working arrangements. Most teachers and leaders are unable to work from home. agencies need to develop an appreciation of the working life demands and hours of teachers. In addition to the above, parents can have access to a teacher in the evenings and at weekends. This is something that parents, including myself, have become accustomed to during the lockdowns. Anecdotally, I've heard of schools closing teachers' email accounts and rebooting them as parents were making potentially challenging demands of the teachers. This includes emailing to ask for homework help, questioning marking, asking for test results, and seeking feedback on assessments. So we should reduce our use of email. There are two angles to this. Firstly, how can we reduce the negative impact of emails as an individual? And secondly, how as a leader can we build a culture where we are less reliant on emails as our primary method of communication? So as an individual, is it necessary to have email apps on all devices? Is it productive to be constantly on and available? Do you feed off the urgency addiction? Should colleagues have the ability to contact me at any time? Should I expect colleagues to be available to me at all times? Can messages be passed on by other means? Consider a cut-off point for reading and responding to emails. Actively seek out colleagues to discuss emails, building a relationship where discourse is more valuable than messaging. Before sending an email, consider these things. Do I really need to send this email? Think. How many times have you had a conversation that starts with, "Did you get my email?" Do I have to send this now? Can I solve my issue by waiting and speaking with my colleague face to face? How many people need to receive this email? Do I really need to evidence everything with an email? As a leader, email policies. Having reflected on the above, some schools have adopted an email window to apply to staff, students, and parents. No email should be sent between the hours of 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. Monday to Thursday. No email should be sent after 5 p.m. on Fridays. And this email window could be extended to apply in holiday periods. Working outside this window is possible and encouraged if this suits flexible working. Many providers have send later and scheduling options which allow emails to be sent within these windows. In conclusion, email is a hugely important tool. Like all tools, it has a specific purpose for a specific job. It has understandably become the tool of choice, particularly during partial school closures. As a profession, and arguably as a population, we have become over-reliant on this particular tool. To ensure we continue to communicate effectively, we must select other tools from the kit and preserve emails for the occasions when they are really needed. Doing so will free teachers and leaders from the burden of constant accessibility and availability, leaving them free to do their most important working of leading learning for children.
Nailers Netter, just talking to teachers.
Talking to teachers about academic research and evidence-based practice with continuing professional development at PNA 1977 on Twitter.
Nailers Netter, just talking to teachers.